The story of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde is fascinating for observing the conflict between good and evil. It really tells the tale of the fundamental lust man has had ever since Adam and Eve partook of the forbidden fruit, to become a sentient being with a knowledge of good and evil. The word sentient means simply to be cognizant of your feeling. Adam and Eve became ashamed and covered themselves only after they sinned. In other words, they had been unaware of their goodness, and they were unaware that they were made in the image of God, and unaware of the definition of sin, that is, the knowledge of good and evil. And they couldn't take pride in their own goodness because they had no knowledge of it. This is why Satan so desperately needed to entice them, because they didn't have eyes to see temptations. The devil hasn't stopped with Adam and Eve, He continues to set things before your eyes and ears to make you aware of temptations that you might have never thought of had they not been brought to your attention. 2 Corinthians 10:5 tells us to take every thought captive to obey Christ. As Christians, we're called to turn away from and deny those things that will corrupt us. And it's becoming increasingly difficult in a society plagued with images and sounds that offend the sensibilities to find refuge to protect yourself. You may ask, well, why did God even put the tree of the knowledge of good and evil in the garden in the first place? Probably for the same reason God allows the devil to tempt you and I today. Think of it as a midterm test in the education of life to see how conformed to Christ's likeness you really are. Jesus was submitted to the temptation of the flesh, but was without sin.